Hey everybody, Mark Harrigan here. Getting ready to be Easter weekend. Just want to wish everybody a happy Easter. I'm a little bit more optimistic this morning. There seemed to be some positive news last night regarding the economy. We may have hit a bottom. Things may be starting to turn around, and that's great. I really hope that it continues. I think that this whole economic downturn has educated all of us as to a few points. Number one, we have to live a little bit more within our means. We need to be better stewards to the planet and so forth. And I think that we're learning these lessons. So when we come out of this, hopefully we'll be better. We'll be a little bit stronger. Maybe maybe even our kids have learned some lessons. Maybe they'll get out and start doing some things instead of just laying around being, unproductive and obese and so forth. Maybe that will even turn a corner. So I'm optimistic. Things seem to be turning around. That would be good for everybody because I'm sure we've all got things that we'd like to do. One thing that's still troubling to me though is, like I heard on the news this morning, there was a fellow on the news. He says, well, I've been out of work for 10 months now. I'm a carpenter and I haven't been able to find work and I've been out of work. Well, in that 10-month span of time, you could have studied and maybe in 6 months become an ultrasound technician or, something else, a phlebotomist or any one of, 20 or 30 other things where there are openings, where there is an opportunity to do something. But to still 10 months later say, I'm a carpenter or I'm one thing and I'm unable to find work in that one thing. Well, listen, we've got to all be a little bit more versatile if we expect, to be able to find some work. Myself, for instance, I was a carpenter. I mean, years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I went to builder's school and I worked as a carpenter. And we got into housing renovations and so forth, my brother Pete and I. And from that, I learned electrical work. I've worked as an electrician. I've worked as a plumber. I worked as a hospital engineer. I've worked at that point and then worked my way up to the point where I was an operations director in hospitals, where I was chief of engineering and purchasing and safety and so on and so forth. I've worked as a computer technician. I'm certified to install fire suppression systems. I'm actually certified as a Florida tropical gardener. I could do so many different things. I currently work as an IT director and edit video and so forth, multimedia and whatnot. My point is that we all need to be a little bit more versatile. You can't just, decide, well, I'm gonna be an auto worker, in Detroit, and then when Detroit dries up, you're blaming me because you're out of work because I purchased a Japanese car. It doesn't work that way, We're all responsible for ourselves, and hopefully we've learned that we need to be a little bit more versatile. Anyway, my hope is that this is good news for the economy and that we all have learned these lessons and that we will be moving on from here. Because I'll tell you, if we don't, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Anyway, happy Easter weekend. Hope everybody is well. Just wanted to get that on tape.